program. Hosts may get changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal.
And good morning and welcome to the First Federal Program, Friday, May the 30th. Good morning, Todd.
Morning, Randy.
How are you?
Friday, May the 3rd. I'm doing well. How are you today?
Doing great, thanks.
Survived the Memorial Day weekend?
Great. Short, long week.
It's kind of crazy that it seems like Memorial Day early like this.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to adapt to.
It's 4-day work weeks are great, except for you get a double Monday in there, it seems like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then next week seems like it's so long.
Oh, yeah. As you adjust back, 5 days. Holy cow, who does 5 days, right?
So the Indianapolis 500 last weekend. Did you watch? Did you go?
I did. I watched, yes.
You were one of 7 million people watching.
Is that all?
So was I watching
Yeah.
too. It was the highest ranking like forever for the Indianapolis 500.
That's always good. Well, when you sell out and more people can watch it, then sometimes when they don't sell out and you get the blackout, that doesn't.
The grandstands were sold out for the first time in many, many years. Approximately 350,000 of your closest friends were there, probably.
Yes. Small little town.
Small little town, that's right. I'd watch the race because usually you mentioned the blackout. Growing up in central Indiana, it was always blacked out. We could never watch it on TV.
Yep.
So this is maybe the first time I've ever watched it live.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Fox did a pretty good job of the coverage.
There's I saw some tidbits that there's some people who thought they had too many commercials. They wanted to see more racing, but
You know, I commented on that. There's some key points in the race. You'd think they would have done like the side-by-side coverage like they do. But then the advertising people probably don't like that.
Right, the people paying the bills, yeah. Money talks,
Winner was Alex Pillow from
Yes.
Spain, from Chip Ganassi Racing. Won $3.8 million.
Is that all?
Nice payoff.
Yeah, not bad for a few hours of work.
And the total purse was over $20 million.
Yes.
So I was reading an article in the Indianapolis Star this morning. It seems like maybe the race is kind of on a comeback. With crowds and people watching and
Might be.
little controversy this year.
It got more controversy even after the race, so yeah.
Second place finisher was moved back to 31st.
Interesting times.
My wife and I were talking about that, and if you read the detail on why they got penalized, it's very technical. Like, those things don't happen by accident, it doesn't seem like. Because you have to be purposeful to.
Yes. Hence why the $100,000 fine as well. So.
And suspension of their engineers. Enough about the race, 110th will be next year.
It will
Hopefully there'll be biggest crowd as usual.
I'm sure there will be.
We welcome Charlee, Schwenk, and Lori Simpson to the show today, talking about the city pool and summer swim lessons. We'll have you on later in the show, but welcome to the show. And
Thank you.
we're glad you're here because swimming is really important.
Yes, it is. It's good in our community, especially with a lake and a river that we want kids to learn.
We'll dive into that literally more in a little bit. That's a good pun I just came up with in my mind, Make my own pat myself on the back there, So our trivia question is related to swimming. What percentage of Americans does the American Red Cross report that cannot either swim or lack basic swimming skills? I looked this up yesterday because knowing our special guest Charlee and Lori today, it's kind of hard to find a question like this because 80% of the Americans say they can swim, but there's 5 basic skills that people need to do. So our question is, what percentage of Americans does the American Red Cross report that cannot swim or lack basic swimming skills? 34%, 44%, 54%, or 64%? Any idea, Randy?
No, that's a tough one.
Maybe testing Charlee and Lori on this too. I bet you they come close to the answer. Well, Tanner, sports. What do you want to talk about today?
Yes, good morning. A lot to talk about this morning, especially locally going on with spring sports starting to wrap up, but some individuals and some teams advancing in their sport. Congratulations to Audrey Wagner and Harrison Dunwoody for both of them advancing to the IHSA state track finals.
That's always awesome.
Yeah, both in the hurdles. Audrey was in the 300 and Harrison was in the 110.
That's tough. Those are tough
Yeah,
events.
they really are. So to get a top 3 finish there in regional and advanced, it's pretty exciting stuff there. And congratulations to the RHS Lady Zebra softball team for winning sectionals last night over Manchester.
Yeah, pretty easily, 16.
Yeah, 5-inning game. That's always nice. So
Yeah.
now they will play at Rossville on Tuesday
Okay.
for a ranked matchup. I believe Rossville ranked 10th.
Yes.
So yeah.
And they won like 15-0 or something.
Another easy win for them.
So a couple of easy wins.
But I believe that was Rochester's 6th softball sectional championship in school history, first back-to-back in many years.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Lady Zebras.
So they got a good program going there for sure. So good luck to them on Tuesday. And the golfers are getting ready for sectional play.
It's kind of weird that school's getting out and sectional golf.
That's
kicks
how
in.
it is.
Yeah.
That's one sport that's never really changed on the calendar.
Yeah.
So because regionals and state can go deep into the rest of the month. So so good luck to them as well. Locally and nationally, the Pacers weren't able to get it done last night.
No, it made me nervous.
Didn't play well,
No.
honestly.
None of them.
They didn't shoot well. The refs, I didn't think were helping.
No.
I thought they were letting the Knicks do whatever they wanted on defense.
Expected in New York.
Yeah, it was, but the Knicks looked like they wanted it more from the tip.
Yeah.
They just were more energized. Game 6 is huge tomorrow night. The Pacers have to get it, in my opinion, if they want to win the series.
Totally agree.
If they're going back to New York on Monday, I don't think it's going to end well for the Pacers.
Yeah, it's funny, of course, all the experts come out now and talk.
Oh, sure.
The last time that the Pacers, I found a thing that was very interesting. Now, true or not, I don't know. Facebook is. But they said anytime the Pacers have played a conference game during the Indianapolis 500, they've never won the conference series.
That's yeah. Well, even their franchise history in getting this far in the postseason and being up in a series like this, it doesn't usually end well. So hopefully,
of course, Tyrese gave the Reggie Miller choke sign, and they said last time Reggie did that, they lost the series as well. So
pointing at a lot of historical.
So they need to break this historical moment and take care of business tomorrow night.
On a positive note, I think I read this morning looking at this. When the Pacers have won a series, they've won on the Knicks floor.
Really?
So that's like the last three or four times.
I really don't want it to come down to game 7.
No, I don't want it.
Last year was an example.
I don't want to go back at the New York after last night.
No. So I kept watching, thinking maybe they'll, they're kind of
cardiac
kids coming back.
I was waiting for the second half of the fourth quarter. I kept saying, okay, they got it down to 10. Here we go.
And then 10 went to 18 real quick.
And I had that same feeling too. Watching it seemed like they were just a basket or two away from being right back in the game. Then all of a sudden go to 15 to 20.
They could never get that big stop, and then turnovers, and then just
more turnovers than they've had most of the series.
Yeah.
So
8 o'clock tomorrow night on TNT and True TV.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get it done tomorrow, and then the winner gets Oklahoma City, who's they were the best team all year in the NBA. So it's gonna be a tough challenge, but I wouldn't want to play the Pacers right now, though, if I'm the Thunder. So
it'll be interesting.
We'll see. Hopefully they can get it done.
Get it turned around, get home, and win it for the Indianapolis people.
And then baseball. It's crazy to think we're almost in June, so I think we can really start eliminating some teams. Cubs are playing really good baseball right now, a record of 35-21. The Cardinals are right behind them at 32-24, and then the Reds are a little down in the Central at 28-29. American League, you got the Tigers at 37-20, the Guardians at 30-25, and then the White Sox at 18-38. But head and shoulders better than Colorado Rockies. They're doubling them up for wins.
And better than last year.
And better than last year. So
still not great, but better.
And then the Yankees are at 35-20, and they're just taking control of the AL East right now pretty easily. So it's,
money buys.
That's all right. That's all right. They don't spend as much as the Dodgers at least. So. They've got some tidbits here this morning. On this day, 1848, William G. Young patented the ice cream freezer.
I'm glad that was a
Me too.
That's a good invention.
Yeah, that's a good one.
On this day, 1911, the first Indy 500 took place.
Wow, okay.
So now, next year will be 110th, as Todd mentioned. On this day, 1935, Babe Ruth took his final MLB at bat.
Ah,
You know what team?
ooh, which team did he end with?
It was started with Boston and went to New York, didn't he? Did he end in Boston?
He ended in Boston.
He
Yeah,
ended in
Boston
okay.
Braves.
He went back to Boston.
Yeah. And on this day in 2003, Finding Nemo premiered in the U.S. and Canada and did really well for itself and for Pixar. And,
Yeah.
and they had Finding Dory, the spinoff out off that. And it's still popular to this day.
I know I'm a grown adult, but I really like that.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
It's great having grandchildren have a chance to watch it.
Go back and watch
Yeah.
some of those. Yeah. It's today's National E-Bike Day, National Creativity Day, National Mint Julep Day. I thought that one might be more towards the
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby
Yeah,
time.
you would think so, yeah.
I think I recall that around the Kentucky Derby time. Probably different organizations.
Probably a different,
Yeah.
yeah. Something else with mint julep in it.
Yeah.
Water a Flower Day, National Water a Flower Day, International Day of the Potato, and National Hole in My Bucket Day.
Oh, it's never good.
No.
Hole in the bucket, hole
Yeah.
in the boat. Those don't work out.
Yeah, not usually, no.
So, got some flowers to give out today. Randy, I saw you at the Optimist Club Pancake Breakfast. They had a great crowd there, so
Always a good meal.
thank you for the Optimist Club for putting that on Memorial Day. Do you recall the benefactor of the?
That was the
Light of
Light of
Pathways?
Pathway.
Mighty Pathway Homeless.
Okay, that's great. So there a great crowd there and raised some money for that. And thank you for the Optimist Club putting on that annual event. Money news. Dow was up a little bit yesterday to 42,215. It's kind of been a roller coaster ride the last couple of weeks, but still generally up for the year. So that's
I think it's been 5 out of the last 6 Fridays.
Yeah,
it's been
last
up,
Friday was the
so,
first
yeah.
time, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
Good
so
deal.
bank. Yeah. In other money news, the bank's open today from 8:30 to 5 and 8:30 to noon tomorrow. You can bank with us anytime with our online banking or through our ATM. You want to download the app, just go onto the app stores and look for our star logo and download that, and you can bank with us 24 hours, 24 by 7. And for the most part, you can do any type of banking service, making deposits, making transfers, paying bills. So we encourage our customers to use those apps and have their banking right at their fingertips, 24 by 7, 365. We offer Simply Free checking accounts, Simply Free business checking accounts. And when you open a new checking account, you get a free gift, the Sunrise alarm clock. That'll still be out there for another week or two.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, that's a popular item, it seems like.
Yeah, I've had to order,
Yeah.
make a few different
Okay.
orders for different branches.
Brightens your
So,
day.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good, that's put it on the market.
Yeah, yeah,
Lightens your day.
yeah.
That's the next social media post you're going to put on.
Maybe it just might be.
Spring is always a big time for mortgage lending, whether you're thinking about doing a refinance or thinking about moving up or moving on. It's a good time of year to do that. Rates are somewhat stable right now a little bit, going up a little bit and down a little bit, but they've pretty much been the same for the last 18, 24 months. If you're interested in a mortgage loan, contact Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson at our Rochester branch or Ryan Austin at our Winnemac branch. They're to get you pre-approved and they can see how they can help you and your family with your mortgage lending needs.
And speaking of the Winnemac branch, Todd, how's the construction coming along the Winnemac agreement?
It's virtually complete in Winnemac. We've got some graphics to put up and some stonework to put outside, but it looks very nice. I encourage people to go in there and take a look at the Winnemac branch. If you've been in the Plymouth branch, it's very similar to that. We've used the same design firm and construction build firm. But thank you to our Winnemac staff for being very patient during the construction because we stay open during construction.
Yeah.
And we totally gut the building and stay open, and it's been challenging to them. We thank Suzanne Pugh and her staff. And Bremen is a couple weeks behind that. I think we're putting flooring in this weekend. Furniture comes in next week, and they'll be almost done too. We're just waiting on some exterior work. So we'll have some special days later this summer, some grand reopenings, probably tied maybe around the Customer Appreciation Day. But thank you to our board for willing to invest in our communities and significantly update our offices. Those offices really haven't been updated since the day they were built. Now they're fresh and new.
Yes, exciting.
Yes, cool.
You can like us on Facebook, follow us on X, Instagram, at FF Banking, LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County, and we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are an FDIC insured bank and an equal housing lender. And our NMLS number is 399927.
And now that makes us legal, ready for the fun part of the show.
Welcome, Lori and Charlie.
Thank you.
Talk about swimming today in the city pool today. Lori, you're kind of back as the manager of the pool, right?
I am. I left in 2021 and came back for this season.
Great.
I was there for 19 years previously, took a couple years off and did some traveling, and then back at it again.
And we welcome Charlie Schwenk, longtime physical education leader in the community, retired from Rochester schools now, staying busy. And one of the things you're busy this summer with is swim lessons, right?
It sure is, Todd. I really enjoy helping children learn how to swim. And last year we were even fortunate enough to have some adults call us, and they were a little questionable, can we take lessons? And I said, oh, sure. And they said, well, I'm 16. And I go, okay. And then they called again, and they had an older sibling. And then they said, can our dad come too? And we said, well, of course he can. And so we had a very successful time with those three. They came a little earlier than the other kids did, and they always stayed later than the other kids so that they could practice, because they wanted to get comfortable and used to the water, because they had never learned how to swim as children.
And Charlie, you mentioned earlier with our environment we have here with lakes, rivers, and swimming is such a key thing for a skill to have.
Oh, definitely, Todd, because so many children go out to the lake and they go to the river, and we want them to be safe. And so many people have pools in their yards now that we want them to be able to be comfortable and not afraid to try things. We want them to have that chance to learn how to swim and enjoy it as much as Corey and I have for all the years that we have swam.
So here's some kind of downer facts, but it's important to know about swimming. Drowning is a leading cause of death for children aged 1 to 4, and the second leading cause of injury death for children aged 5 to 14. So you're offering swimming lessons to
4 and up.
4 and up, yeah.
Yes.
So what are some particulars about the swimming lessons?
We'll be hopefully starting on June 17th. Hopefully the pool will be completed by then. And we share some time with the City Parks program. So there's a few days that we can't go all the days of the week. But we offer morning lessons from 9 to 11. And we offer afternoon lessons for parents who work from 4 to 6. And we're very, very fortunate in our community because the Fulton County Health Department is picking up half of the cost of each of our students.
That's
so
awesome.
normally it would be $80 for 8 lessons, but our parents only have to pay $40, and the health department will pay the other $40 for all of our
We
children.
encourage people, if your kids don't know how to swim or 4 and up, get them out to the swim lessons. And there's support from the health department, that's great. So how does one register to be swim
Well,
lessons?
they can call Lori or myself, and Lori's number is 835-1354, and my number is 835-4890. And if I'm a parent, I would have to say there's no unacceptable question you want to ask, because if you don't know how to swim, we want to help you. And we generally, last year, we were fortunate to have small groups that allowed us to really concentrate on some of our kids who were a little more fearful.
So what kind of swimming skills do you teach them to basically get used to? Lori, what do you?
So Charlee is the queen of the younger kids. My experience with swimming has been competitive swimming. I've coached for a long time. So I take the older kids and work on stroke skills, rotational breathing, rhythmic breathing, that kind of stuff that they need as they develop their stroke skills. But Charlee takes them at the younger ages and the lower skill levels and teaches them to put their faces in the water and to move across the water and not be fearful.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, I've never gotten out of the shallow end. All the years that I've taught swimming lessons, I've always been in the shallow end. I've never gotten to go to the deep part, but maybe this year will be my lucky year.
That's okay. Kids need to get over there is a fear of swimming, and
Oh, yes.
you build confidence in your swimming lessons, and they're involved in the swim lesson the full 2 hours. Is that
The lessons are about 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay, that's when you have.
So we break it up into smaller groups.
Okay, that's great. And you teach basic survival skills with swimming.
Oh yes, we teach them how to survival float and what happens when I jump out into deep water. I won't sink to the bottom, but I can tread water, I can do other skills that I could maintain in there until if I needed extra help.
We use the American Red Cross as a template for our lessons. Charlee and I both are certified as water safety instructors through them, and they stress a lot of safety through the Red Cross. So every lesson we have has a safety component to it, where we talk about wearing life jackets, not swimming alone, treading the water. If you do end up in the water, finding the wall or the shore. So those are all part of every single lesson that the Red Cross stresses.
As I mentioned when you came in this morning, I used to teach American Red Cross swim lessons a million years ago, and it is a great safety program. Things like the life jackets and just basic survival skills. Plus also you're teaching them to swim. And a lot of the swimmers go on to do competitive swimming sometimes. That's not a requirement, but just it's an advantage if you know how to swim.
Well, that's for sure, because I had Lori's sons when they were young, and they both became outstanding. One became an outstanding swimmer, and he went on and on and on, and I felt lucky because I was the one that helped him get over some of his fears.
We did.
So, basic need for the swimming is the pool. The pool's been going under some renovation, Lori. Why don't you give us an update on the status of that?
Currently, we are waiting for the liner to be finished, and then once that's done, the water will be added, and then I get to do my magic and balance it. But the construction project has been very involved. The pool was built in 1969, and the decking around the pool was original from 1969. So obviously, cement doesn't last that long, and it was
Ages, cracks.
Yes, it was getting worn and hard to walk on. So that's all been replaced, and in the process they replaced the guttering around the outside of the pool shell, and now they're replacing the liner.
So refurbishing a pool is a big thing,
It is a major project, very expensive. We are so blessed to have a wonderful park board who decided that they wanted to put the funds into the pool and keep it up and going for future. This project that they've done, it's going to make the pool last a very, very long time.
We're kind of getting an almost brand new pool.
We are.
That's awesome. And so swim lessons are part of that, and hope to start about June 17th again, right?
We hope.
Why don't you hit the highlights again of hours and age groups and things like that?
The lessons are open for anyone 4 years old and older, and I mean really older too. If you are an adult and you'd like to learn to swim, we could probably accommodate you in a different time than when the children are there. They will begin on the 17th. We have morning lessons that are 30 minutes long from 9 to 11:15, and then afternoon lessons will be from 4 to 6 for parents who work or parents who just, this is a better time for their children to come. And we hope that we will be able to fill all of our slots.
So how long does a session last?
About 30 minutes.
And then for a week or 2 weeks?
8 lessons.
8 lessons, okay. You mentioned that earlier. So that's about a 2-week period then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great.
You have to kind of allow a little bit chance of rain, because once in a while we do need it rain
That
pretty
is true.
bad.
That's rain. We want that for our
And my
farmers.
husband wouldn't like it if I said, no rain for 2
No,
weeks.
Yeah.
We need rain. Rain's a good thing.
Yes.
So this is a great opportunity for our community that people like yourself, Lori and Charlee, that are dedicated to teaching swim safety and swimming is such a critical skill because everybody's around water sometime in their life, and hopefully they'll never need to have to know to swim, but it's, accidents do happen sometimes. And basic swimming skills are great. And Charlie, you've been doing this quite a while, right?
Yes, more than 40. Well, okay, I've done it longer than Randy and Tanner have done 5. I know that. Probably 45 years.
That's great. That's been part of your whole teaching career, your physical education. Right?
Yes, it was so important to help the kids at the elementary school learn how to swim and give them that chance. And hopefully with the new pool renovation at the middle school, they will get that opportunity again.
Well, Charlie, you retired a few years ago. We want to thank you for your service because of all your running that you did with the kids and the swimming. You've had a significant impact on our community, and we appreciate that.
Well, thanks, Todd.
Got a lot of people running, and a lot of people know how to swim and stay safe. And Lori, you've been around with the city pool for a long time too, so you've seen a lot of history with that.
19 years previously, so, and the coaching and everything like that. I wanted to put it in there. I have no memory of not knowing how to swim. I'm 56 years old, and I probably learned to swim when I was very, very young, so it's very, very important. I swim a couple miles a week for exercise, so everybody, it's a great skill to have, not just for safety, but for exercise also.
Plus, it's a lifetime skill.
Lifetime
Yes.
skill.
That I can do it when I'm 5 and I can do it when I'm 95.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of, it's kind of hard to run a marathon when we get 95, but you can still swim.
I might have to walk that marathon.
And that's where I'm at. I'm not able to do the running that Charlie can do, but the swimming is one exercise I can continue.
Yeah, it's great. It's not stressful on the joints and muscles of the body. And,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, this is great. Swim lesson program for our city and community, and that's coming up. And Charlie, why don't you give the phone numbers if somebody wants to register?
Okay, Lori Simpson's number is 574-835-1354, and my number is 574-835-4890. And we'll have this information in the town talk as well as the shopper's guide.
Well, that's great.
And also on the pool's Facebook page.
And probably stay aware of the pool's, easy for me to stay aware of the pool's Facebook page, because that will give you updates about the status of the pool.
It will. It should give an opening date pretty soon.
Great. Well, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Todd. We appreciate you having us in today.
Well, we appreciate what both of you do in the community. It's a critical need, and teaching people to swim is a great life skill. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You can play in the trivia contest too if you want.
Yikes.
It's easy, just guess.
Welcome to my world.
I know, I hear you every week.
What percentage of Americans does the American Red Cross report that either cannot swim or lack basic swimming skills? 34%, 44%, 54%, or 64%?
I'm gonna go with A.
Hey, 34%.
Yeah.
I'm going 44.
44.
Oh, Charlie, earlier you said
I did.
54.
I don't want that many people not to know.
No, we do not, but I'm going to go with 54.
You were right, Lori.
Wow.
54%.
That's
So
a lot.
this shows why swimming is really important. So take advantage of the program, and good luck to your program this summer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll close with a quote, of course, from a swimmer. Couldn't do that,
Is it Michael Phelps?
It is Michael
Yes.
If you want to be the best, you have to do things other people aren't willing to do.
Very good.
All right.
From Michael Phelps, American multi-gold medal, silver, bronze medal champion. So thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great week, and have a great weekend.
Lori, Todd, Charlie, thank you. Have a great one. All right. That's going to do it for the First Federal program here this morning.